much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the show where the aim of the game is to find the most obscure answer possible. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, my name's Greg, and this is my colleague Carly, and we're from Southend-on-Sea in Essex.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Simon's dear friend Rob. I'm from Liverpool and Rob's from Cheshire.
Couple number three.
Hi, I'm Isabel, and this is my mum, Caroline, and we're from Basingstoke.
And finally, couple number four.
I'm James, this is my friend Jamie. We're originally from Essex, but we now live in London.
And these are today's contestants. Thanks very much, all of you. We'll get to know a little bit more about each of you throughout the show as it goes along. So that leaves just one person for me to introduce. According to the Kremlin, he is the only man in history to get into a fist fight with a supercomputer during a game of chess. It's my pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hi, everyone. Hiya. Good afternoon to you.
And to you.
Are you well?
I'm very well.
You look very jolly.
Do I?
Yeah,
feeling jolly, Richard.
in a good way. Oh, that's nice.
That's good.
Only one returning pair today, James and Jamie, but we saw a lot of them last time, got all the way through to the head-to-head, so it's going to be very tough to beat for our three new pairs. Now, worrying for you because you're standing very, very close to Greg's shirt. Are you going to be OK?
Yeah, it's a garish design, but the colour scheme is quite muted.
Oh, yeah, OK.
So for that,
I see what you mean.
And also, for now, at least matches the colouring for the round. When that turns to cerise, who knows what's going to happen.
It's going to be all sorts of trouble.
For now, it's fine.
I'm a proper classic pointless round one today.
Nothing pleases me more than that.
Excellent.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now, every question on Pointless has been put to 100 people before the show. Today's contestants are looking for a pointless answer, of course, that being an answer that none of our 100 people gave. Find one of those and we will add 250 quid to the jackpot. Now, Lola and Alice didn't win the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £2,000. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. OK, remember, the pair with the highest score at the end of each round will be eliminated, so do what you can to make sure that is not you. Our first category today is words. Words. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many words ending in E-A-K as they could. Words ending in E-A-K. Richard.
Yes, we're looking for any word that has its own entry in the Oxford Dictionary of English that ends E-A-K. As always, no proper nouns, no hyphenated words, anything like that. Just anything that ends E-A-K. Very, very best of luck.
OK, very good. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Carly, welcome. Welcome to Pointless. Now, Carly, what do you do?
I am a financial analyst.
You analyse finances for whom?
For a college.
Oh, for a college?
Yeah.
Very good. In your spare time, Carly, what do you get up to?
Sport mainly, hockey, football.
Hockey, football.
Yeah.
OK. Now then, it's words ending E-A-K. What are you going to go for, Carly?
I am going to go for, because my spelling's atrocious, but I think squeak.
Squeak, says Carly. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said squeak. He's right. $28. Not bad. 28 gets us off to a good start.
Yes, a short, high-pitched sound or cry. A squeak.
Exactly what it is.
Like a mouse would make, say.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good with a bubble.
Lovely with a bubble.
Simon.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. What do you do, Simon?
I basically launch cancer drugs and diagnostics all around the world.
Well, that's quite good, isn't it? Well, you launch them.
Yeah, I'm so I'll help people research the products, develop the products.
Right, OK.
Make sure it complies with all the laws, make sure it's completely safe for people.
Does this involve you actually travelling around, or do you just...
all over the
you
world.
travel over
Yes,
this?
I do, yeah.
So then, Simon, words ending E-A-K.
Not 100% sure. It's quite a sort of childish word, if you like, but pipsqueak?
Nothing childish about that. Pipsqueak. Sounds good to me. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said pipsqueak. It is, of course, right. I think this is going to go properly low. Very well done indeed, Simon. Not quite pointless, but you don't get any closer than that. Very well done indeed. 1 for Pipsqueak.
That's a terrific answer, Simon. Very well played. Yeah, someone considered to be insignificant or small, particularly a youngster.
Now then, Caroline, welcome.
Hello.
What do? You're from Basingstoke in Hampshire.
Yeah, which no one's ever heard of.
People have heard of
I've heard of
Basingstoke.
Yeah, but no one seems to know it, so for some reason.
I could prod to a map where it
Yeah,
is.
it's near Winchester.
Yeah, it's
so-
sort of near Andover, Winchester.
Exactly,
Near,
nice.
near Fordingbridge.
No,
There you
near
go.
Fordingbridge.
Nowhere near Fordingbridge.
Anyway, what do, Caroline?
I'm a housewife and mother and general handy woman for my family.
Handy woman for your family.
Yeah.
Excellent. How are you feeling about these words ending in EAK?
Well, I was going to go for Pipsqueak, which obviously that's gone now. So I'm going for break.
OK, break. Let's see if that's right. I'm going to stop saying let's see if that's right. I think it's right. Let's see how many people said break. It's right. 1 is our low score, 28 our high score, 43 for break.
Yeah, a big score for break. Break's one of those words that just mean virtually everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For example, you could have a lovely weekend break in Basingstoke.
Yeah.
That would be something no one's ever said.
James, welcome back.
Thank you.
Talk us through last time.
We got to head-to-head through a series of lucky guessing.
No. Ingenuity, James.
Educated guessing, maybe, yeah.
Remind us what you do, James.
I'm a database manager for a charity.
And remind us what you like getting up to. What are your hobbies?
Columbo. I'm a big fan of Columbo. I've been waiting for a round to come up on this for years, so I am hoping that we might get that this time round.
OK, well, who knows? First round words, do
Yeah.
well in that. Maybe you'll learn a bit of Columbo in the second.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm not liking this round. I forgot every word as soon as it came up. But I'm going to go for streak.
Streak. Streak, says James. Let's see how many of our 100 people said streak. Well, we range from 43 to 1. Let's see where you come on that scale. 9. Single figures, James.
Well done, James. Yes, streak, another thing that can mean all sorts of things, including being naked in a public place. James, I'll ask you a Colombo question if you want.
OK?
OK, of which country is Colombo the capital?
Venezuela?
Sri Lanka. Oh, so close. That's about as close to Venezuela as Fordingbridge is to Basingstoke.
Thanks very much indeed. We're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores as they stand. 1, the best score of that pass. Simon, very well done indeed. Pipsqueak. Up to 9, where we find James there with streak. And then up to 28, where we have Carly and Greg with squeak. And then up to 43, Caroline and Isabel. You're not way out in front, but you are in front. So, Isabel, we need a great answer from you. Oh, I've just thought of one.
Have you?
Yeah,
Oh,
literally just then.
hearing that.
Ah! Anyway, enough from me. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, now, Jamie, remember, we are looking for words that end in the letters E-A-K. Jamie, remind us what you do.
I'm an editor for a advertising website that showcases advertising in short films and bits and bobs like that, music videos.
That's good. So you're working out how to get advertising onto those?
No,
or-
sort of interviewing people who make advertising, music videos and stuff like that about how they made it. So,
All right, very good.
fun.
OK, there you are. You're on 9. The high scorers at the moment, Isabel and Caroline on 43, so 33 or less sees you into round 2.
OK, I always quite like these rounds at home because I go for crazy answers and sometimes they're right, but I haven't got the bottle to do it today. So I'm going to go bleak.
OK, bleak, says Jamie. Here's your red line. Get below that. You're in round 2. Let's see how many of our 100 people said bleak. Whee! Look at that. 31. Takes your total up to 40. It's close, but you're through.
Yeah, charmless, dreary, cold and miserable.
Thanks, Rich. Now, Isabel, welcome. Great to
Hi.
have you here. What do you do?
I'm a student at Aston University in Birmingham.
And what are you studying?
International Business and French.
Of the 2 bits of your degree, which do you like the most?
I'm much better at the business side of it, but I do enjoy languages, so...
Good stuff. Good. Now, you've had a little bit of time to think about words ending in
Yeah.
E-A-K.
Well, I was going to say bleak, but that's obviously already been said. So I'm going to say steak.
Steak, says Isabel. Now, no red line for you, as you are the high scorers at the moment, but let's see how many of our 100 people said steak. 24, not bad. 67 is your total.
It's a bit of pressure on Greg now on podium 1 there. Yes, steak. We had someone else on the other day who was studying business and French, didn't we?
Exactly,
And she liked the French bit more.
She did. She liked the French.
The two of you should hook up and do each other's exams. What is French for business studies?
I don't know.
Surely that's...
Études d'affaires.
Études d'affaires.
Études d'affaires.
Surely that's...
It probably is that, actually.
I made it up. I'm using my
That's
vast
got to
knowledge
be the
of French.
first lecture on the first day, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, you'd have thought. You'd
doing
might learn
French
the
and
name of the
business
course in
We've
French.
not blended them together yet.
There's your first mistake.
I know.
Yeah. Rob, welcome.
Hello.
What do you do, Rob?
I own a cafe.
Good for you. How long have you done that for?
A month.
Oh, actually, right. So, how's it going?
Very well.
I mean,
An encouraging start.
Okay. Good turnover? Good.
Yes.
Well, how many covers?
About 50 a day.
I've seen Restaurant Man. See.
When you were asking about the turnover, I didn't think you'd been watching Restaurant Man. I thought you'd been watching Great British Bake Off.
Now then, Rob, you've had a little bit of time to think of a really good answer. The high scorers are Isabel and Caroline on 67, which means if you can score 65 or less with a word ending E-A-K.
Well, I'm going to go with daybreak.
Daybreak, I think, is a cracking answer. Let's find out if it's right. Let's find out how many people said it. There's your red line. There you go, it's right. And you're through to the next round. I have a feeling this might be joining Pipsqueak down there at the bottom of the column, and it does! Right at the bottom. You match Simon's exemplary low scoring in the first pass. Your total is 2. Well done, Rob.
Terrific answer, Rob. Very well played. Yeah, daybreak. You don't need me to tell you what that is, do you?
Nope. No, indeed. Now, Greg.
Hi.
Greg, welcome to the show. What do you do?
Well, I work in the same college as Carly, and I'm the senior financial analyst.
Oh, I see. You're the boss.
I'm slightly more senior than Carly.
That's nicely put. Very nicely put. What are your hobbies, Greg?
In my spare time, I'd like to say I'm a board game enthusiast. I play a lot of modern board games.
Now, by modern, what do you mean?
Well, it's a golden age of board games at the moment, really. They're releasing new ones every month in Europe and in the United States. Lots of very colourful, pretty American ones, and lots of strategic, really thinky ones from Europe.
Very good. OK, now, talking of strategic games, Greg, you're on 28. The high scorers, Isabel and Caroline on 67. 38 or less gets you through.
OK, I think I'm going to go for freak.
Freak. There is your red line. Get below that, you are through to the next round. Good luck. It's right. Oh, Greg! Oh. I was drawing breath to say, you've done it!
Me too.
I'm so sorry. 41. Takes your total up to 69.
Yeah, very sorry. That is tough luck. A big score, isn't it, for free?
Isn't it? Yeah.
41. Now, what was your answer going to be?
Misspeak.
Misspeak?
Yeah.
I used to get taught by misspeak at school.
Yeah.
1 point.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it would have been a great score.
Yeah. How is misspeak?
I don't think she's misspeak anymore. I think she's...
Misspoken for.
Yeah. Let's take a look at some of the pointless answers. You'd have done well to get some of these. Beak speak, hair streak. That's actually a butterfly, a hair streak. Half beak, which is a fish, believe it or not. You could have had house break, which is not to break into a house. It means to house train a pet, to house break. Mini break, new speak, which of course comes from George Orwell's 1984. That's a pointless answer. Sticky beak, a pointless answer. Techno speak and tech speak, also a pointless answer. I'll give you a few of the low scorers. You might have got some of these. Windbreak would have scored 1. You'd have got 1 for jailbreak as well. 1 for double speak, 2 for debeak. Heartbreak would have scored you 2. Beefsteak would have scored you 3. So there's some low scorers there. Let's take a look at the top 3 answers, the ones that most of our 100 people said. Peak would have scored you 60. You'd have got 63 for beak. And right at the top, leak for 78.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So at the end of our first round, I'm afraid the pair heading home with their high score of 69 is Greg and Carly. Oh, it was all falling so neatly into place. And then Freak, I'm afraid, came along and scored so high. So I'm afraid we have to say goodbye to you, but we'll see you again next time. We'll look forward to that very much indeed. But meantime, thanks very much, Greg and Carly. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. So now we're down to 3 pairs. And at the end of this round, we'll have to go down to 2 pairs. I wonder which pair will be leaving us. Best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 today is recent history. Recent history. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns 1980s history. 1980s history. Richard.
On each pass, we're going to show you 6 questions about the 1980s. Just need to give us the most obscure answer, please. It's going to be 12 in all to have a go at home, so very best of luck.
Thanks very much indeed. So let's reveal our first board of 6 questions, and here they come. This Derby-winning racehorse was kidnapped in 1983. The British gas privatisation advertising campaign urged people to tell who. This former intelligence officer published Spycatcher in 1987. Government minister resigned after claiming that most of Britain's eggs were infected with salmonella. This airbase in Berkshire became the site of a women's peace camp in 1981, and he was president of the USA from 1981 to 1989. I'll read those all one last time. This Derby-winning racehorse was kidnapped in 1983. The British gas privatisation advertising campaign urged people to tell who. This former intelligence officer published Spycatcher in 1987. Government minister resigned after claiming that most of Britain's eggs were infected with salmonella. This airbase in Berkshire became the site of a women's peace camp in 1981, and he was president of the USA from 1981 to 1989. There we are, 6 clues to facts about the 1980s. Rob.
Yes.
I think you probably know them all.
There is one that I should know, and it's hiding away somewhere in the back of my head, but for some reason I can't bring the answer to the tip of my tongue to give it to you. So I'm going to have to go with the airbase in Berkshire, which was Greenham Common.
Greenham Common, says Rob. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said Greenham Common. It's right. $20. Not bad at all.
Yeah, the camp only ended in 2000, actually, despite being the airbase was decommissioned in 1991. But they stayed there until it was completely empty and all the perimeter fences had been taken down.
Thanks, Rich. Now, Isabel.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about this as a subject?
I should technically know the second one, as I studied all the utilities privatisations, but I can't remember. But I can't answer any of them, so I'm just going to say Red Rum for the top one, as that's the only horse I know.
OK, Red Rum, says Isabel. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said Red Rum. I'm afraid it is a horse, but not that horse. But I'm afraid that scores you 100 points.
Yeah, I'll give all the answers at the end of the pass.
OK, now then, James, talk us through the board and fill in all the blanks.
I can only do a few. I think the top one might be Shergar. The second one might be Tail Eric. I think the government minister was Edwina Curry, and the president was Ronald Reagan. I'll go for the top one, Shergar.
OK, Shergar, says James. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Shergar. It's right. Well, 20 is our lowest score so far. 44. 44 for Shergar.
Yeah, it's an absolutely extraordinary story, the Shergar story. There's all sorts of books about it, well worth reading. No one's ever officially confirmed what happened. Isabel, if it makes you feel any happier, 11 of our 100 also said Red Rum. So they were wrong, but you are. But, you know, at least everyone was wrong together. So that's nice. Yeah. Now, let's fill in the rest of the board. Rob, was there an obscure one you were trying to go for?
I thought the author of Spycatcher would have been the best score on the board, but I can't for the life of me remember his name.
It is the best scorer on the board, and his name was Peter Wright. It's one of those names that's easy to slip your mind. 3 points. British Gas urged you to tell...
Sid.
Sid, yep, not Eric. Would have scored 24. The government minister was Edwina Currie. You're quite right. Would have scored you 64. And the president of the USA was Ronald Reagan. And he would have scored you 39. So Peter Wright, the best answer up there.
Thanks very much indeed. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores. 20, the best score of that pass, Rob. Very well done. Once again, Rob and Simon looking very strong. Up to 44. James and Jamie, there you are. And then 100. Isabel and Caroline, once again, halfway through the round. You're the high scorers. You were all right last time. Maybe you'll be all right this time. Best of luck. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 6 more clues up on the board, and here they come. We've got this Indian Prime Minister was assassinated in 1984. The Winter Olympics were held in this Yugoslav city in 1984. This inventor introduced the C5 electric tricycle in 1985. American forces invaded this Caribbean island in 1983. He became what was to be the last leader of the Soviet Union in 1985. And this Tudor warship that had sunk in 1545 was raised in 1982. I'll read those all one last time. This Indian Prime Minister was assassinated in 1984. The Winter Olympics were held in this Yugoslav city in 1984. This inventor introduced the C5 electric tricycle in 1985. American forces invaded this Caribbean island in 1983. He became what was to be the last leader of the Soviet Union in 1985. And this Tudor warship that had sunk in 1545 was raised in 1982. There we are. Jamie, you're going to try and find the person or event described by those clues that you think the fewest of our 100 people knew.
Well, history is definitely not one of the topics that I was hoping for, along with geography and sport, which we've had as well in the previous...
Let's just narrow this down. What were you hoping for?
Films. Just films.
OK, OK.
But I think I did see a TV programme about this fella, so I think I know. And I think I've sat in one of these. Is it Clive Sinclair who invented...
What was the TV programme you
I don't know,
saw?
it was terrible. Like, the guy, it was really bad.
Yeah, who played Clive Sinclair?
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't good, though. It wasn't a great performance.
It's me. Oh, you know that. OK, good.
I know it was.
Anyway, listen, there is your red line. You have to get below that with Clive Sinclair. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Clive Sinclair. It's right. You are in the head-to-head. 55 you needed. 53 you got. 97 is your total.
Yeah, the C5, of course, a sort of huge disaster, really overshadowed some of the extraordinary things Sir Clive Sinclair did, I would say. I imagine history will judge him much more kindly.
Right, now, Caroline, this is where it all comes into play. You're on 100, Simon and Rob are on 20. There is a scenario in which you could make it into the head-to-head. It involves them scoring 100 and you scoring less than 20.
No,
How are we feeling about the board?
it's OK. Don't know which one out of the bottom 2 to go for. And I'm confident on the Tudor warship, but I'm wondering whether to go for the Soviet Union leader. I'll go for, is it Mikhail Gorbachev?
Mikhail Gorbachev, says Caroline. Let's see if that's right. No red line for you as you're the high scorers. Let's see how many people said Gorbachev. It's right. 34. 134 is your total.
Yeah, it's a good answer, Caroline. Not quite enough to save you on this occasion. Yeah, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1990 for his part in bringing the Cold War to an end. OK, now then. Simon, I think you'll know all these answers. Would you like to talk us through them?
No, the surname of the top one would be Gandhi, but for the life of me, can't think of the Christian name. I could tell you every move in Torval and Dean's routine, but I think it was Sarajevo, as a guess. Caribbean island, 83. I would guess at Grenada. And I'm pretty certain it was the Mary Rose. Because I admire Torval and Dean so much, I'm going to go for Sarajevo.
Sarajevo, says Simon. Well, no red line for you as you're already through, but let's see how many people said Sarajevo. Is right, obviously. Oh, very well done. 18. 38, your total.
Well played, Simon. Every question and every round so far, the two of you have got the lowest scores on your pass, so it's very, very well played. You were right about Grenada. Would have been an even better score, actually. Would have scored you 16. You're right about the Mary Rose. That's a very big score, though. That would have scored you 68. And the Indian Prime Minister, it was Indira Gandhi. She would have scored you 42 points.
Thanks very much indeed. So at the end of our second round, the pair heading home with their high score of 134. I'm afraid it's Caroline and Isabel. Yes, red rum, I'm afraid, was the expensive.
I knew 3 of those answers on the second board.
So had you gone the other way round? And Caroline, you knew loads on the previous board.
Yeah, we'd have probably done it.
Oh, no.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. Well, listen, you'll be back next time, and you'll just have to think more carefully about which order you play in. Like, that's going to help. I mean, that's no... I mean, just because you... I don't mean that. I mean, you don't know what's going to be on the board, is what I mean. Oh, that sounded terrible.
It's fine. I think you got away with it.
I'm sorry, I feel awful now. And now I'm going to say, looking forward to seeing you next time, which I genuinely am. And I think you're going to do much, much better, because you'll work out which order... I'm just shut up. Caroline and Isabel, wonderful contestants. But for James and Jamie, Simon and Rob, it's now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Simon and Rob, James and Jamie. You're now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £2,000. There it is. So now we get to the bit where we have to decide who is going to play for that money. And to do that, you are now going to go head-to-head. But the difference is you're now allowed to confer before you give your answers. And the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. This is going to be very exciting. Let's play the head-to-head. OK, here is your first question, and it concerns Motown artists. Motown artists. Richard.
I'm going to show you 5 acts now that have been signed to Motown or Tamla Motown. Can you give us the name of the most obscure? Good luck.
OK, let's reveal our 5 artists, and here they are. We've got A, B, C, D, and E. There we are, 5 Motown artists. Simon and Rob, you've played best throughout the show so far, so you will go first.
OK, we think D is Boys to Men.
Boys to Men, say Simon and Rob, for D. Boys to Men. James and Jamie, the rest of the board is yours. Talk us through them.
A is Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. C is Lionel Richie, but was it the Temptations he was in before?
I think we'll have to guess for that.
E, I don't know E.
Might be Smokey Robinson. But I
Should we
don't
go for C?
Go for C, yeah.
We'll go for the Temptations at C.
OK, so James and Jamie, you are saying that C is the Temptations. C, the Temptations. So we have Boys to Men versus the Temptations. Simon and Rob have said that D is Boys to Men. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Boys to Men. Wow, 6 for Boys to Men. Very well done, Simon and Rob. An unstoppable quiz force there. James and Jamie, you have said that C is the Temptations. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Oh, bad luck. Not the Temptations there, but very well done, Simon and Rob. Boys to Men saw you through there, and after one question, you are up 1-0.
Well played, Simon and Rob. Yeah, it is Lionel Richie, but he was originally in the Commodores. And that would have scored you 27. Had that big hit, same with 3 Times a Lady, which is where the Cockney rhyming slang for £15 comes from. They call it a Commodore, because a Lady Godiva, a fiver, is £5. So 3 times a lady is £15.
That is good.
Hats off to whoever came up with that.
Yeah, that's very good.
Let's look at the rest. You're right about Stevie Wonder. That's A. He would have scored you 39 points. And B is a pointless answer. It's the Marvelettes, remembered for having a hit in 1961 with Please, Mr. Postman. Very, very well done if you said that. And E is the Four Tops, and they would have scored you 18.
Thanks very much indeed. OK, here comes your second question. James and Jamie, you have to get this one right, or you will have come to the end of the road. Good luck. It concerns items used for gardening. Items used for gardening. Richard.
I'm going to show you 5 items now used in gardening, but in anagram form. Can you unscramble them and give us the best answer? Good luck.
OK, let's reveal our 5 items used in gardening, and here they are. Warn me owl, virtual cot, red bib, let row, and wet tub art. I'll read those all one last time. Warn me owl, virtual cot, red bib, let row, and wet tub art. James and Jamie, you will go first.
Okay.
We think we know a couple, but
We don't know what will be lower.
we don't know which one's going to be lower. We'll go for the bottom one, which is water butt.
Water butt. OK, Simon and Rob. Do you want to talk us through the rest of the board, if you can?
I'll give it a go. Top 2 are flummoxing me for the moment. Next to bottom one is trowel, and the centre one is dibber. I think I'd go with dibber.
You're going to go with dibber. OK, so we have water butt and we have dibber. James and Jamie said water butt. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said that. It's right, of course. 17. 17. Now then, Simon and Rob have gone for dibber, red bib. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said dibber. It's right. Ooh, 42. Well done, James and Jamie. Back in the game after 2 questions. It's 1-1.
First time in the whole show that Simon and Rob haven't had the best answer there. Very well played. It's a very good answer, water butt. There is an answer up there that would beat it. It's not trowel. Trowel would have scored you 71. The top one you couldn't get is lawnmower, and that would have scored you 33. Now it's the second one down that's the best answer on that board. Any ideas? Tricky. Anyone in the audience? Cultivator.
Oh,
very well played. Yep, 6 points.
Good. Thank you very much. OK, it comes down to this, the third question, the decider. And it concerns the Galapagos Islands. The Galapagos Islands. Richard.
5 clues now to facts about the Galapagos Islands. The team that gives us the most obscure answer is going through to play for the jackpot. Good luck.
OK, let's reveal our 5 clues, and here they come. The ocean in which the islands are situated, the name of the last known Pinta Island tortoise, estimated to have been over 100 when he died in 2012, name of the largest of the Galapagos Islands, red-footed, blue-footed and Nazca are types of this species of bird found on the islands, and in 1964 a research station was established on the islands named after this naturalist. I'll read those all one last time. Ocean in which the islands are situated, name of the last known Pinta Island tortoise, estimated to have been over 100 when he died in 2012, name of the largest of the Galapagos Islands, red-footed, blue-footed Nazca are types of this species of bird found on the islands, and in 1964 a research station was established on the islands named after this naturalist. There we are. Simon and Rob, you will go first.
I don't know a lot about the Galapagos Islands. But I think the last of the Pinta Island tortoises was known as Lonesome George.
Lonesome George. Now, James and Jamie, the board is yours.
We also don't know a lot about the Galapagos Islands. Is there one in Colombo? We got a punt for the bottom one, haven't we?
I think we'll go for the bottom one, named after Charles Darwin.
Charles Darwin, seems fair enough. Charles Darwin. OK, so we have Lonesome George versus Charles Darwin. Simon and Rob went for Lonesome George. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said it. It's right. Oh, that's a good answer. Look at that. 8 for Lonesome George. Very well done. James and Jamie have gone for Charles Darwin for the bottom one, the research station. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said that. It's right. Oh, it's not bad. It's going to be close. 19. 19. Very well done indeed. Simon and Rob, after 3 questions, you are through to the final 2-1.
Very well played. Yeah, poor old Lonesome George. He was over 100 when he died, but his subspecies have been known to live to 200 years, so he's actually relatively young. Died in middle age, but he was the last of his species, so they kept trying to find him a mate, but couldn't happen. Poor old Lonesome George, but a great one of those things that just lodged at the back of your head there. Terrific answer. The ocean in which they're situated is the Pacific. That would have scored you 51 points. The red-footed, blue-footed and Nazca are all boobies. Would have scored you 14 points. And the largest of the Galapagos Islands is named Isabella. Would have scored you 2 points after Queen Isabella. And you know whose voyages she funded? Columbus.
Yes, you see, there we go.
Nearly 2 points for that. That's the best answer right there.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So the pair heading home at the end of this round, I'm afraid, is James and Jamie. 2 head-to-head rounds consecutively. Not bad at all. But I'm afraid you were up against the machine that is Simon and Rob. So there's nothing really you could do. You were powerless. Resistance was indeed futile. But it's been great having you on the show. Thank you so much for playing. James and Jamie. But for Simon and Rob, it's now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Simon and Rob. You've fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. So very well done.
Oh, thank you.
You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £2,000. Well, what a performance. I mean, we knew you were good. We knew you were good. Right from the P of Pipsqueak, right through to the J of Lonesome George. Now, Simon and Rob, remember, you get to choose your category, obviously, and you have 4 options to choose from, and here they are. We've got poetry, cult sitcoms, American rock, New Zealand.
Well, skip poetry in New Zealand.
Yeah, I'll give that.
I'm a roses are red type of guy for poetry. New Zealand.
No, so American rock or sitcoms?
American rock. The chance of Billy Joel potentially. Is he rock?
Rocky-ish.
Are you a big fan?
He's a massive Billy
massive
Joel fan.
yeah.
He's the world's biggest Billy Joel anorak. I think we should go with American rock.
American rock, please.
OK, American rock it is. Richard?
OK, here are your 3 choices. We are looking for the name of any studio album released by any of the following acts. So any studio album released by Bruce Springsteen, any studio album released by the Foo Fighters, or any studio album released by Metallica. So we're not accepting live albums or compilations. For Metallica, we won't accept Garage Inc., Through the Never, or Lulu. So looking for any studio album made up to February 2014 by any of those 3 acts. Very, very best of luck.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
Think so, yeah.
OK,
Yeah.
let's put 60 seconds on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
OK, Foo Fighters albums. The only one I can think of is Nothing Left to Lose.
Right.
Metallica albums, the only one that I can think of is the Black Album.
Which is Metallica. Bruce Springsteen recently, well, everything he has tends to go to the one. There's Wrecking Ball, it's Human Touch.
Human Touch is a good one. Tunnel of Love.
Tunnel of Love is, I don't know if that's an album or not.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
So Tunnel of Love,
Yeah.
Human Touch,
Yeah.
and Wrecking Ball.
OK.
Should we go for them?
Yeah, fine by me.
OK,
Done.
there we are. OK, we're going to stop the clock with 27 seconds still on it. This is punchy. OK, now give me your 3 answers.
So it's Bruce Springsteen albums.
They're all going to be Bruce Springsteen albums.
Tunnel of Love,
Tunnel of Love,
Wrecking Ball,
Wrecking Ball,
Human Touch.
and Human
So I
Touch.
nearly lost me touch then.
OK, of those 3, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Tunnel of Love? Do you know?
Quite, yeah.
Tunnel
Tunnel
of
of
OK, Tunnel of Love we'll put last. Least likely to be pointless.
Human Touch.
Human
Yeah.
Touch we'll put first. OK, let's pop those up on the board in that order, and here they are. We've got Human Touch, Wrecking Ball, and Tunnel of Love. Well, very, very best of luck. Your first answer was Human Touch. You thought this was probably the least likely to be pointless. Let's say it was pointless, though. What would you do with that prize money, Simon?
My mum's not been well for quite some time, so I would send her away on a cruise and send my dad with her, just to say thank you for everything they've done.
Oh, Simon, what about you? Rob.
Another noble cause. I'd probably go out with him and get horribly drunk.
Again, a round of applause. That's two excellent things to be doing with your prize money. OK, so we were looking for human touch. In this case, obviously, a Bruce Springsteen album. Has to be right, then it has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot. So for £2,000, let's see how many people said human touch. It's right. There's more than a start. Down it goes. We're more than halfway down, 2/3 of the way down. Down it goes, still going down in single figures, still going down. Now you done it! You have done it! Very well done indeed. That's fantastic. Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, fantastic. Very, very well done with your first answer right in the bullseye there. So congratulations. Human touch was a pointless answer, which means you leave with that jackpot of £2,000. Excellent. Very well done.
Wow. I mean, you've really barely put a foot wrong since the first question on the first round. Terrific performance. Blotted your copybook slightly with Wrecking Ball, because it would have scored 2 points, I'm afraid. Yeah, I know. But then Tunnel of Love, another pointless answer. You also mentioned There Is Nothing Left to Lose, the Foo Fighters album, which is another pointless answer.
Oh, well done.
There's only one of them up there as well. Let's take a look at the Bruce Springsteen ones. There's quite a few pointless answers here. This was the category to go for. There's Human Touch, Lucky Town, which was released at the same time as Human Touch, The Ghost of Tom Joad. There's Tunnel of Love. You also could have had Devils and Dust. You could have had Greetings from Asbury Park. It was a pointless answer. Magic. You could have had We Shall Overcome, Working on a Dream. All of those were pointless. And let's say there's only two others here, because one for Foo Fighters, which is There's Nothing Left to Lose, and only one for Metallica as well, which was Saint Anger. So very well done if you said any of those at home. I suspect people would have got pointless answers on Springsteen, but these guys got two in the studio, £2,000. Been brilliant from start to finish. Well deserved. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Well, thanks once again to our winning players, Simon and Rob, who go away with a very well-deserved jackpot of £2,000. Brilliant. Join us next time and we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.